you tell me something about this region, you ask? Mr. Tanti, certainly I'll tell you around here. We're always glad to help out strangers. Tell me what lies beyond this town. Beyond Mr. Tanti, there are two paths, he says. One takes you past Alianna's home, and you'll need your wits about you if she's there. The other leads up into the hills and Liaki, the main of the Great Ones. Either way you choose, I wish you the luck of Sindler on your journey. I don't need your gods, I have my own. You keep them close, the old man advises you. Crowd in the inn is starting to thin out. You finish your beer in a single draught, and get to your feet. You make to leave the inn with a wave back to the old man who bought you a drink, and you step outside. You look this way and that, trying to decide what to do next, when you realize the old man has joined you once more. He pauses to spit carefully onto your boots, then he walks away, swaying slightly. It's now evening and time to sleep. That's gross. Did I offend him with the god thing, or... I mean... find an inn. Probably sleep well in an inn. You stop a passerby and ask for an inn, and they lead you there directly. The woman who runs the place stands in the doorway with her arms folded. Actually, I think the difference between sleeping in the open and sleeping at the inn is we're not going to get stabbed by something in the night at an inn. The woman who runs the place stands in the doorway with her arms folded. Are you from the king? She demands. I'm on a mission for the king. Yes. I'm on a mission for the king, you reply. Taxes? She replies quickly. Indeed, yes. No, yeah, actually, yeah. The woman narrows her eyes at you. The guest house, the best in Cristotanti. Only guests stay, and any guest of mine knows it costs me 3 gold pieces to host a traveller overnight, and 2 to feed them, but it's all between friends. You don't have enough money for either. I could give her an emerald, which is worth 10. Oh, hang on, she gives us food for that as well, so this is actually covering our rations. But I might be able to actually straight up exchange them for cash later. Actually, I wonder if we can exchange them for cash, or if we can always just use them to buy anything that costs less than 10. I'll give her that. You produce one of your emeralds and wave it in front of the woman. Her eyes light up. I want you to treat me as you would a king, you declare. The woman nods quickly and snatches for the gem. Food is being served and your room is upstairs. You can have mine, she cries, rushing ready to batter at her husband to get to cleaning. You pace through into the main room where skunk bear stew is being served. As you eat, you can't help but remembering the terrible-smelling beast you left dead on the path. Then you head upstairs to bed. It is a serviceable comfort. I wonder if it's roadkill. Did they just go get the bear off the path and cook it up? Sleep! Sleep. Ah, excellent. We get more stamina, back up to 14 now. Your dreams are vivid once again. You're walking endlessly, the hills moving up and down under your feet like a rippling sea. Every step exhausts you, but no step moves you forward. Meanwhile, a tall black creature strides towards you, wreathed in foul-smelling smoke. In the distance, a deep voice is booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the metal frame of a crown, and with the other he beckons you forward, as if into a trap. Beyond Cristotanti! We wake early and sit for a moment, in no great hurry to leave the village. It is now the 3rd day of your journey, and the muscles in your legs are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. You spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set off along the path. Cristotanti is surrounded by several miles of fields. It sits in a well-protected ring of hills and is close enough to the river to be reasonably prosperous. As you follow the path between lines of sun-baked crops, you come to a fork in the road. The right-hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly off into deep woodland. Buildings or woodland? It's a ruined village or dumpus. Or there's the magic woman there. I think I went through the ruins of Liaka last time? I think so. There's a cave there as well. There's something there. I think those are towers, actually. I don't think they're actually particularly of any real interest. I can't remember if there's anything interesting in Liaka either. I'm not sure there is. And I think we should probably take the fun path, right? Your journey is too important to slow down by talking to locals. You must pass unseen, and so you disappear into the jungle of trees. For a short while the sun is feverish, and then you're between the trees once more, and everything becomes cool and still. You walk for several hours uneventfully. This is land that was never settled or explored, and very few travel this way. In places, bushes and shrubs have grown over the path. We'll move cautiously. We pick our way carefully forward, moving slowly but silently between the trees. For any beasts nearby, you should be able to wring their necks without them hearing you approach. Really? We think we're more wily than the creatures who live here? So, that can only end well. Then you come to a fork in the road and still deep in the forest. One takes us to the witch in the woods. Someone has thought to make a sign, perhaps as a guide, or perhaps as a warning. The way to the right is marked for Dumpus, and the left turn points to Alianna, a name you remember from what the man in Kristatanti told you. Neither way seems the better trod. You will have to choose. Yeah, we need to go see Alianna. Nothing we can't deal with. And the path winds between trees that get greener and more lush. You must be close to the river here, although you cannot hear the water. After about an hour's walk through dappled shade, you come across a well-built hut. Flowers decorate its walls, and the doors being painted with ornate designs. The path ends here. Out around it? You form a swift circuit around the hut, but found nothing unusual or concerning. It seems to be what it is. A hut set by itself deep in the forest. But for someone to survive out here on their own, surrounded by the beasts of the jungle, it must be someone quite powerful. There's a knock on the door. Excuse me. You approach the door and knock, and there is no reply. Open the door? You push open the door and stride inside. Hello! The hut is neatly laid out. You detect the touch of a fastidious woman. Chairs are set around a table as if for guests. A mattress lies in one corner, and a large kitchen area indicates that whoever lives here, they're fond of cooking. All out. Hello, is anybody there? To your surprise, the voice answers quickly. Who's there? Who's that? Locate the speaker. Looking into a corner hidden by a large cupboard, you see a cage in which a young woman is imprisoned. Good stranger, please, she pleads. Let me out of this cage, I beg you. What happened to you? You move over to the cage, quite shocked. Oh, good stranger, she wails. I've been locked up here for 2 days. It was Elvins that did it. Those mischievous, prankful Elvins. Please, you must help me. I've not eaten, and they left me here where I can see all my cooking things but can't reach them. The Elvins, we do keep hearing about these mischievous Elvins. Elvins are these guys. These are the guys I avoided, because they lock you up if you decide to just walk past their camp. Yeah. If I let you go, what do I get in return? Yeah, I want that vixen back. Sister, she answers, looking miserable. I am but a poor woman. And I am a poor traveller. You reply graciously. Now tell me, what can you give me for your freedom? The woman looks dreadfully unhappy, but nods. You're on a journey, she says. You will need things to help you. It is a dangerous wilderness out there. Tell me, in your heart, are you a fighter, or are you an enchantress? I'm a mistress of my magical art. This is what I've gathered and collected all sorts of magical artifacts. Release me from this cage and I will give you 2, no 3, items of great power. Oh, I could just take her stuff. Oh my god. That seems like the vixen route. I mean, it's very easy just to blame the Elvins for everything. And I think the key I have is probably the key to her cage. She's a witch. I was told a witch was locked up. I have a key from a guy who couldn't see me. The riddle, yeah, it kind of holds so far. I'm pretty sure she's the witch that I was looking for. There's a witch who's had bad fortune befall her. Yeah. So... man, if I help her, my alignment goes the wrong way, unfortunately. But if I help her, she might just give me the things and we can be friends, which would be okay. Or I can be the asshole and steal all the stuff, but, you know, I went through all that getting the key to get around and stuff, so might as well use the key, right? You are most generous, you reply with a slight bow. I will release you. Going over to the cage. You try the door. It is locked, of course. We could try to use an item from our pack. The woman watches as you open your pack. Use the silver key. You slip the silver key from around your neck and try it in the lock, but it's far too small. Put the key away once more. Please, begs the woman. Now hurry. Please, begs the woman. Now hurry up and get me out of here. We could use magic. You'd be grateful I waste my strength on you, you declare as you roll up your sleeves. Please tell me this works, because I thought for sure that silver key was this. Now I'm not sure what the silver key has to do. Oh, doze. We could put us to sleep. Just put us to sleep and steal all the things. You cast the spell over lock and it begins to shiver. Like a small beetle, it hums and clicks as the tumblers return and work. Then finally it snaps open and drops to the floor. The woman claps her hands in delight, and with the door open, she rushes out and throws her arms around you before backing off a pace and trying to regain her composure. Stranger, she declares, I am in your debt. Alianna will reward you. I promise you magic. She rushes quickly over to a wall and opens a panel you've not seen before. Oh, I guess if I'd searched the place, I actually probably wouldn't have found that. It would have been like, you can find nothing. Screw you. Oh well. She takes the small box and places it into her hands with a smile. No tricks, she says with a smile. All these things will aid you if you know how they're meant to be used. Open the box. You flip open the box. It contains a vial of glue, a pair of strange-looking nose plugs, and 4 small pebbles. You pocket them and give back the empty box. The lady has been freed, and it seems like there's nothing much more to keep you here from your quest. Oh man, you can ask for dinner as well. We have dinner. I mean, glue is a one-use, one-and-done kind of thing, and I'm not sure how often it comes into play. Nose plugs are a endless use item and very powerful for what they are, I think. There's a lot of opportunities that come from the game that allows you to cast Nif that I guess I just missed the nose plugs last time around. So I never really got them, so I never got a chance to cast that particularly often, but there were a lot of opportunities to use them. So I would like to have access to that. And pebbles are good for pop. Yeah, the fact that we've walked halfway across the friggin' map and only picked up 4 pebbles so far, it's like, come on. I'm sure you could probably find some lying at the side of the path that you could put in your pocket to throw at things to cause explosions. Seems like it, but hey, we've got some now. There are also consumables though, so we need to kind of consider what we're using them for. Can we ask to be fed? Before I go, you demand, feed me, lest I starve and come back to haunt you. I have nothing, she replies with a defiant stare. The elven who locked me up took everything. Oh man, I feel bad for him. No, I can't play games as an asshole. As much as I want to, just because the Vixen's kind of a cool spirit animal. I'm really bad at role-playing bad guys. I can't. Then I will be gone. May I eat my own food? Would you share my food with me? Yeah, I mean, she hasn't eaten in 2 days, and she gave me a lot of cool magical items. Would you share my food with me? He nods vigorously, and the two of you settle down to the table. Here's a mockery of a family feast as you carefully divide the sugary honeycomb, trying hard not to lose any morsels into the cracks in the wood. He eats ravenously, as do you, and finally you stand. I must be on my way, you tell her. Many more miles to cover today. He nods. Of course, please, before you go. He holds something out. It's a small bag of coins. I'll take it. You snatch the bag from her. There are 7 gold pieces inside. And one more thing, she says. You must understand. Alianna does not give gifts to those who are not worthy, and any worthy woman is capable of dying. Suddenly before your eyes, 2 transformations are taking place. First is in one of the chairs, which begins to crack and creak, standing and stretching until it is formed into a violent wood golem, advancing with fibrous claws outstretched. Second is in Alianna's face. Gone is a peaceful calm, and in its place is the cackling madness for which... Well, shoot. Crap. I don't know why I thought she wouldn't turn on me. That was always kind of the implication here. It was like, she has been locked up for a reason. I can cast Dud. Or Jig. We can cast Jig. Jig is always a good one. I think that's about it. I can cast Hot, and it is a wood golem, so presumably Hot would burst it into flames and kill it pretty quickly. However, I want to make the wood golem dance and sing and have a party. You whip out the pipe and cast your spell and begin to play. The golem stops and looks at you strangely. Its shoulders shrug and it shivers. It looks around, then one leg begins to twitch on the floor. Uncontrollably, it takes a little leap forward, then back, landing neatly on its toes. The golem is dancing, and besides, Alianna is dancing too. You keep playing while you back away out through the door. You retrace your steps to the last junction, where you turn to take the path to Dumpus. Okay. That magical flute was a really good purchase. To say that I lost a lot of money on snake oil at the same time, the magic flute's pretty dang good. And the path winds a few more times around gigantic trees, thousands of years old, and emerges onto a sudden plain as if the forest had been scooped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles thinly between short grasses, and by its bank stands a tiny village. It's going to Dumpus. So dumpy. Today has been a short day with few true dangers. With a decent meal and a night's sleep, your next day will start auspiciously. So begin the gentle climb down into the village. You follow the path down into the village, passing a sign which declares it to be Dumpus. The streets are thin and narrow, the buildings have been set close together as if trying to withstand the storm. There's a terrible smell hanging in the air. All in all, it seems like an unpleasant place. I have a distinct recollection that this village might be pretty bad, actually. I think there's a very real risk bad things could happen here. I know I'm being vague. I'm also looking around to see if I can figure out where else I might be thinking of. There's not many options. There's only... there's 3 other villages I'm going to pass through before we get to our destination, potentially. Although where the Bridge of Van Cass takes us, I don't know. Because this path goes to there, and then that's where a river meets a cliff, and it's all kind of lost under the text. But I don't know what's actually at the Bridge of Van Cass. This must be the Bridge of Van Cass. Where does this go? I'm intrigued. Definitely intrigued. We've got Urastanti there. We've got the main path that takes us up through Shamutanti and Torrepani. But first we must deal with Dumpus. I think... Talk to the villagers. You pass along the main path through the village and pause outside a hut in which several of the dishevelled hill dwellers are sitting and eating. They seem deep in discussion about something. Several are shaking their fists in the air. Lifting back the canvas flap, you step inside. The hill dwellers stop talking immediately and look up at you. One gets to his feet and gestures you forward. You shall step over. You step forward, then one of the others calls something in their native tongue and points at your side to where your sword hangs out below the hem of your cloak. In broken common tongue, the first man croaks, "Weapons," and indicates a table by the door where you can leave the blade. I'll look over the table. There are plenty of other weapons here, so the men appear honest enough. Or I can just enter with my sword. You shake your head and step forward into the hut. The message is clear enough and the men all scramble to the feet. You have quite a fight in your hands against 11 or so opponents. There's no time to draw your blades, so you must resort to your fists. Ah, crap. I don't know what I thought I was doing there. I'm gonna be the bad guy again. Jig! Let me cast Jig! I can cast Yob, but I didn't bring a Giant's Tooth. I can cast Gum. I'm only gonna hold, like, one of them. Kids would work if I had a bracelet of bone. Wok would be a really nice one to have. Yeah, there's nothing, is there? There's dumb. I could make him dumb, but that's a 3 stamina spell. No. It's not worth 3 stamina. Run! Run! You waste no time in racing out the door and don't stop running until you're out of town. I don't think there was anything for me in Dumpus. Kinda don't. All the way beyond the village, you climb up into some woodland near to a burbling spring. It is peaceful here, sheltered by the winds on one side and mountains on the other. Could make camp. I don't know what time of day it is. This is not helpful. Keep walking. The moon is full and you're making good progress, so you decide to walk on through the night. Set off immediately. You do not even stop to eat. The going is easy after a long day of journeying. You soon leave the woods and follow an uphill path. At daybreak, you pause for an hour to gather your bearings and rest to your feet. Oh, that bit was the entire night? Oh, okay. Fine. The early morning is chill and fresh. You pause to enjoy the scent of the air and set off once more along the trail. After another hour or so, the way branches, with one path heading up the hills, and the other turning downhill and along one side of a barren, stony ridge. Is that a village you can make out on top of the hill? It seems a lonely place for it. Alright, let's check out that one. This is the one I don't want, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is yes. This is the village we don't want to be in. I got them wrong. The gentle upward slope becomes a steep climb and you're forced to rest several times. So far you've been walking through foothills. Now the journey will become more serious. When you finally reach the summit and can finally look out over the low plateau you've crested, you see the path runs through a small settlement of crudely fashioned huts. There are villagers out in the streets, talking and working. It seems a happy, bustling place, despite the filth in the streets and the barren surroundings. The picture does not paint a picture of a happy, bustling place. You stay at your vantage point and watch a while longer to see if things change. After a while, you begin to notice something strange about the way the people in the village are moving. First, you notice one is limping. Then another. Then you realise they're all shuffling as they move. Some use sticks. One is even crawling. Yeah, it's funny you didn't notice that the first time. You stay hidden and watch for long. After you realize that whatever is happening to the village, it is desperate. There is no laughter, no joy. There is no trade or commerce. Women do not walk about and the men do not watch them. Like a prison camp. They are... I don't think there's anything I can do. It's certainly not the happy, bustling place we were told it was. I think we need to stay away from this place. You've seen enough. Taking to the low scrub and you walk a quarter circle around the village to the far ridge. Keep going. The path turns down a steep scree slope and into some trees.